Frimpong is injured, and as a former player in the amateur leagues and a person who loved the game, it always feels so bad when you see a player, missing some games, getting injured, missing important games. But I'll be lying if I say I don't feel so good right now, because over the years it has been new Chelsea signings. They were the only one getting injured. Is it Fofana? Is it Pulisic? Is it ZH? And now it's just a breath of fresh air when a team is signing new players and they're getting injured and it's not Chelsea. Now, the thing is, he's not going to miss a lot of games. He's going to miss the two important games, because it's Newcastle and then Arsenal. And then he'll come after the international break. Now, you'll have to get used to having Bradley Con or somebody playing in the right wing, right back. Now, the thing is, it's important for teams whenever they sign people to look at their industry, no injury history. And I was a little concerned when they bought Frimpong, because you know the only time I was so much concerned with Bayern Leverkusen was when they were going unbeaten run, and when they were going the unbeaten run, it was a period where, for some extent, or Frimpong used to miss some of the games from 2022 season. I think 2022-2023 he had a huge ligament injury, and then there was some injury. I think he missed a lot, nearly 11 games in 22-23. Then 24-25, I think again another 4 or 5 games. Now, I hadn't checked last year, and after seeing the news that is injured, I had to go back and check, like, okay, they have to have, like, the sporting directors, they need to have gone back and see the injury, because I thought, like, it was the same. Like, if he had missed 11 games at some point in the past, then even last year he was going to miss some 11 games or something. And then this year, Liverpool had to press for some, again, him missing 11 games. But I had to check and realize that last year he had zero injuries. And probably he had zero injuries because Bayer Leverkusen were not really struggling to, win the league, go unbeaten. So it's like, if the load is high, then the person gets injured. If the requirement for playing is high, if you want him to play, always to play to the best of his ability to push, then he gets injured. Now, are Liverpool willing? Are Liverpool able to control his workload and at the same time want to retain the Premier League, want to get to the Champions League, want to get to win the League Cup, want to win the FA Cup? I don't think it's going to be easy. And it's not just Frimpong. As some people have bought certain players who they're going to get injured. One of them is Kuna. Kuna is going to get injured at some point, because that's what has been happening with him over the years. So, whether they like it or not, at some point, Kuna is going to get injured this season. Now, that might sound like psychic, like I'm a witch, or but it's trend. You can't fight trend. There's no way. You might be optimistic, you might be talking your own thing, you might be very, very optimistic, like you want things to work. But if, for anybody, and especially if you ask people who have done a lot of statistics, they'll tell you, this is the trend, this is what you expect, These are the games that this guy usually plays throughout the year. These are the same games you should expect him to play in the year. So, if Wisa is injury prone, Mbeumo is injury prone, Kuna is injury prone, Frimpong at some point he was injury prone, James was injury prone, Lavia was injury prone, Fofana was even injury prone. Who did Arsenal sign who is injury prone? Eh, Havertz is injury prone. Who's the other guy? Who's the other guy? Do they have any another? Saka had an injury, but Saka is not injury prone. But he has played for quite some time. So, if you're considering all those players, then you should brace yourself. You should brace yourself. You should be able. You should be prepared for that eventuality. So, Liverpool, again, for this game week, as much as they tried to ruin Newcastle flow by trying to say, after the game week, we are going to put 130 million for Isaac just to put them off the game. Karma is a bitch and karma is going against them this time round because Frimpong will be out. But Frimpong is not very important for Liverpool, even as much. I don't know why you are making this a big deal. It's not like there's a huge difference between Frimpong and Bradley. Who's that? Who's the other right back? It's not. It was a good signing, but the signing didn't even raise some eyebrows. Like, we were not like, oh, Liverpool have signed another person. Like, where is Liverpool getting all this money? It was an additional. It was like, Liverpool have signed Waits. Liverpool have signed this one. Liverpool have signed Ekitike. But do you remember? Do you know they signed Frimpong some months back? So it's not important. It's not very important. If it was Ekitike, if it was Waits that was getting injured, we would have been going to the sports director and telling them, you know what? You might as well come or go and watch our videos because we have always explained this thing. And we have the experience. We have been the guys. We have been the guys who are buying people. We bought Fofana. We were the guys who were buying Pulisic, and Pulisic couldn't play 5 games consecutively without getting injured. And Fofana was the other one. And then there was James. Now we didn't buy James, but you know this stuff. Now, some teams have never had to experience this thing where the people they're depending on are getting injured. And one of them is Liverpool, the other one is Man City. Arsenal had a small injury crisis last season, and it was like they were being beat down. It was like it was over for them. So that's child play to us. It's like we know this thing. We know this thing. Who's getting injured? And that's why we have, for every position in Chelsea, we have two guys. We have two guys goalkeeping, in defending. And even right now, people have not made a fuse of Levi Colwill as much as Levi Colwill is more important than Frimpong. You know, if we are going to start making excuses why Newcastle will beat Liverpool or why Arsenal will beat Liverpool, then we'll also be making excuses why we drew with Crystal Palace. It's because we didn't have Levi Colwill. If we had him and he was going to make those cut through passes, then it would have been easier for us to win that game. So don't start with the excuses, but just be prepared with the eventuality that Frimpong is going to miss a couple of games. And not just Frimpong, even with Man United, even with Arsenal, they still have people who are going to miss a couple of games. It's not me. I'm not a witch. I'm just saying because it's the trend. Anyway, subscribe, 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 and remember we are doing our live in less than 2 hours, so you can tune in.